Now to the most important part of every show. Our guest is Fran Parks. Fran is with the Enotah CASA. CASA is Court Appointed Special Advocates for Children. Welcome, Fran.
Thank you so much for having me today.
I saw you speak at the Movers and Shakers a while back and thought, wow, this is a great topic for our community. I was not familiar with CASA, and I hope that after folks listen today, they'll be very familiar with CASA. For those who are unfamiliar with Enotah CASA, what is Enotah CASA?
Enotah CASA provides court appointed special advocates to children in the foster system. So basically, once these children are removed from their home
Right.
and placed into foster system, the court will appoint them either a guardian ad litem or a CASA advocate.
Okay, you answered. When I actively practice law, I'm from Florida. There's where I practiced. I did volunteer pro bono work as a guardian ad litem for our court system. What? Tell me the difference.
Well, normally in the state of Georgia, a guardian ad litem would be a local attorney
Okay.
that would serve in that area. And a CASA does the exact same job.
Okay.
Not a job of an attorney. Let me clear that up.
Sure.
But they do the
So they sleep
portion,
better at night.
probably. But they do the portion of the guardian ad litem.
Right.
They go through training, they learn how to do this, and they learn how to advocate for that child. So they're very similar in what they do. The difference is this CASA advocate, they will come into that child's life at the removal time or very close to, and they stay with that child throughout the whole process. Um, like their foster home may change, their attorney may change, lots of things may change, but that CASA becomes a constant in that child's life.
The rock. I like that. Well, something the anchor is
Right,
in an ever-changing environment. They have one person that's always there. Wow, I like
correct.
that a lot.
And one of the other differences is the guardian ad litems have to be paid
Right.
through the
I was
county.
never paid. That was pro bono work in Florida.
Right.
But
Some attorneys may do it pro
okay.
bono. I'm not sure,
Right,
but
right.
on a normal case, they pay that attorney to
Okay.
for those services. But CASA is strictly volunteer work.
No
They're
pay.
not paid, and I find when people aren't paid, they're a little more invested.
It's a labor of love.
Correct.
I get that.
Right.
That's pretty nice. Well, how long has Enotah Casa been helping kids in our area?
Enotah Casa was established in our area in 1999 and has been going strong since then. We service 4 counties. We service Towns and Union, and we also service White and Lumpkin.
Okay. I cheated as I always do, and I went online and looked at y'all's website. I was pretty impressed. Some of the testimonials. Here's one. CASA has been the one constant in my foster's children's lives for the past 5 years. They are always there to support the children at swimming lessons, t-ball games, cheerleading, and all the special life events. We've been very blessed. We love our CASA. Another one, a CASA myself, I've come to admire the important role CASA plays in communities. Enotah CASA has become part of my DNA, my heart, and my soul. I believe in CASA's mission. For Nick and I, giving financially means helping CASA achieve their goals, which have become our own goals. Knowing our assistance will help train a few more CASAs so more children will have a voice fills our hearts with joy. CASA, here, again, CASA advocates are the true eyes and ears of the court. They often bring information and resources to the table that attorneys otherwise wouldn't otherwise know exist. Now, that's probably true. I can tell you when a lawyer steps in the room, people clam up real fast.
Right.
I like to advocate. Here's another testimony. Advocating for children and helping them obtain a permanent loving home is one of the most rewarding experiences a person can have in life. Another one. Being an adult who speaks up for a hurting child is a privilege which cannot be recognized with honors or pay. When entering CASA training 15 years ago, I could not have dreamed of the richness of this journey. Although I've seen fear on children's faces and tears in their eyes, I know their were made better by having a CASA speak for them. The ultimate reward is the child's sweet smile when they realize they have an advocate and friend. Wow.
Well, you being that one consistent and researching that child and getting to know that child allows you to advocate for that child on a personal level. Whereas a lot of it in the courtroom is business and rules and
Sure.
things of that nature, which is all necessary and a very important part of what we do.
Right.
That CASA is able to get on a level with that child so that they can advocate for their best interest.
That was pretty strong. Can you tell me a little about? We've got an idea of what you do, but what is your mission and y'all's vision?
Our mission is to mobilize the community where volunteers are able to advocate for every child in the foster system. Right now, there is a deficit to that. We don't have enough CASA advocates for every child in the foster system, and that is one of our main goals.
Okay. CASA is Court Appointed Special Advocates for Children. Before the break, we were beginning to talk about what all y'all do in our community. Can you share some numbers?
Share some numbers. Well, basically, we have 7 staff members serving 60, 7 staff members supporting 60 CASA volunteers. So we right now have a total
And
of
that's
60
in
volunteers.
3 counties?
Four.
Four
Four
counties.
counties.
Okay.
They drive up to 45,000 miles a year. And then around 8,000 hours that our volunteers are logging for these kids.
Wow.
Right now, within our 4 counties, we have 208 foster children
So 208 by 60.
in the welfare system.
Okay, my
Yep.
math's bad, but that's 3 point something almost.
Right. And some of these are sibling groups. So some of these are serviced within
Right.
a sibling group. This year we had 26 children reunified with their families,
Nice.
which is always nice. We had 20 adoptions last year. And then we have 11 who were placed in permanent guardianships, which means they may have went to a grandparent or some situation where they were just allowed a guardianship. But it's a big deficit when you look at the
Sure.
numbers of kids we have. I also know, even if you're not volunteering for CASA, we always advocate for more foster families because we don't have enough foster families either
Right.
for the amount of children we have, which is as much of a need as it is to have a CASA advocate. So one way our listeners can help with that, you can give me a call, go on our website, learn a little more about CASA, and, pray and think on volunteering, giving of your time.
What are the requirements for being a volunteer? Surely, for example, George, who comes every week to the radio station, he may be a retired police officer, but I don't know that you would want him in CASA. He seems just shifty to me.
But he might be good at it. You never know.
Well, how about Packy here? I'm not sure. Let's.
There are really no major requirements. You don't have to have a degree.
Okay.
You just have to have a love for kids. And
There's some training.
Of course, we have training. And during that training, we'll be able to decide if you're a good fit, and you'll be able to decide if it's a good fit for you. And of course, you're dealing with children, so there's very strict background checks,
Sure.
fingerprint checks, and things of that nature that we have to do to make sure our kids are always well protected.
Now, looking at your website, it says 40 hours of training and background checks, willingness and availability to participate in 40 hours of pre-service training, consent to criminal record and fingerprint checks.
Correct.
All right.
Yep.
Very good.
So
Let's say someone's thinking about volunteering. How can they reach out to y'all?
they can call me personally at 706-969-8837.
Let's give that number out one more time and let's slow it down. Folks, reach for a pen. This is a great cause. They could certainly, the children in our communities could certainly use your help. What's that
Correct.
number again?
My name is Fran Parks, and you can reach me at 706-969-8837. Or you can visit our website at enotahcasa.org. Either one. And you can always reach out to us and fill out a form online, and I'll be the one getting back with you and speaking with you and getting you on the track to become a volunteer.
The one qualification I see is you must be 21 years of age.
You do need to be 21 at least. We find a lot of our volunteers are from our retired community. We have some volunteers that work full-time jobs. I'm not saying you can't
Sure.
do that, but you do need some flexibility with that because you do have to attend court.
Right.
Anytime they have a court hearing or things of that nature, you have to do a report and actually attend those hearings. So, there is some time requirements to that.
If someone's listening and considering volunteering, what age children do y'all work with?
0 to 18.
0 to
I mean,
8?
it really just depends on where that child is when they're pulled. I know our director just adopted a 17-year-old. So, I mean, that was part of the system. Some kids age out and they've been in the system for months or years or whatever, and some kids are basically newborns. So, we have every age range. We don't just pull out of a basket and say, here's your child. We give you a little bit of history and things of that nature
Right.
on those children, and let that CASA decide, okay, this is a good fit for me, or this is not a good fit for me. Because, some people do well with babies. Some
Sure.
people do better with teenagers. Some people do better with elementary school age kids. I mean, not everybody is built for the same
100%.
thing.
Yes, I've raised 2 sons. There was a period where, here, honey, my wife, handle these 2 heathens.
I agree. I agree.
I understand. Well, Fran, tell me a little about yourself. How did you become involved?
Wow. I call myself a jack of all trades, a master of none. I've done several things through my life. The biggest thing is I was admin for Concord Baptist Church over in Claremont, Georgia for
right.
right at 17 years. So I worked in the church, and then my husband and I.
You kind of still do. I truly look at this as serving the Lord.
My husband and I actually lived in Hiawassee for about 3 years. We decided to sell our house in Cleveland and move over here and remodel a house, and we did that. And
Very
then
familiar.
and then after that, we needed to get back and help with his mom, so we moved back to the White County area, and the job just kind of fell in my lap, and I was like, well, I've done ministry, and I'm an organizer, so let's go for it. And they saw something in me, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's just very rewarding to be able to do what I do.
I thought you did a great job at the Movers and Shakers that
Well,
morning.
thank
I mean, you
you.
really shared it, the love there. Let's say someone's out there listening and they're just not sure. What would be the process? I mean, look, maybe you're out there listening and you're like, I don't know if I could handle these kids. They could come and learn a little about it?
And that's what the training's all about. Just because you sign up for training and go through training, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to continue in training or continue on to be a CASA.
Right.
That's a time that you can vet that and think on that and pray on that and decide through that training, is this really something I can handle?
Right.
And then if you decide not, or you think it's not for you, you can always support financially. You can come alongside us during events or whatever we do to be able to support, even if you're not, doesn't feel like a volunteer role is for you.
Right. And if someone's thinking about, I don't have the time, but I do have a little extra cash in my bank account, how would they go about donating?
They can go to our website at enotahcasa.org/donate, and they can do it that way. Or there is a mailing address on our website. They can always mail it in if they want to do the old-fashioned check thing, which a lot of people still do. So,
Packy's giving me the 1 minute finger. Quickly, if someone's thinking about volunteering, what would you say to that person?
I would tell them to get all the information up front. Call us, talk to us. Let's meet up. Let's go through that process so you can truly see what you're signing up for, and if you truly have a heart for it. And some people will be kind of on the fence, and then
Sure.
by the time they're through training, they're like all in. So get more information, find out more.
And the number to get more information?
706-969-8837.
One more time.
706-969-8837.
Folks, I hope that this is something you'll consider if the Lord puts this on your heart. So appreciate you listening. Thank y'all.